This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors. The Outdoor Journey Show with Matt Gaddis and Ty Morgan, brought to you by Journey Hunts and the Rocky Mountain Elk Foundation.
Welcome back to the Outdoor Journey Show. Matt Gaddis, Ty Morgan here with you, talking about the complete journey and a very special trip to Africa.
Yeah, you know, we were talking and we've told you the story up to this point about a last-minute leopard tag that we have obtained, and Drake Lem, a builder and a businessman from Montana, is the one who decided to make the purchase of the tag and go to South Africa. And we have Drake with us right now. Drake, how are you?
Yeah, my name's Drake Lem. I'm a building contractor here in Missoula, Montana. Actually, when I got this phone call from Matt, I'm sitting in my pickup, so I pulled off to the side of the road to tell you guys my story. But I've been to Africa hunting 8 different times. I've been in 3 different countries. And I think Sediba Nkwe is probably the most enjoyable time I've had. But that being said, the spur-of-the-moment leopard hunt was kind of unusual. I actually had to make that decision in, what was it, maybe a week and a half's notice, maybe 2 weeks at the most. And we thought we were going to be able to do it next year, and then, you know, this is Africa, so things got changed around, and we had to get this hunt in before the end of November. So I breached my wife with the opportunity, and she wasn't happy about it, but we got it done, and we were able to come to Africa on a very short notice and participate in this leopard hunt, which is quite unusual in itself, let alone the unusual time span that we had to deal with.
Yeah, you know, Drake, I was telling the folks, you know, a leopard hunt is such an unusual and rare opportunity. And then we had the added pressure of this being last minute. But we were able to get good plane tickets, you know, really well-priced plane tickets. And we were able to get over there, you know, really problem-free. So we hit the ground, we're in camp, we get a partial night's sleep, and then it's off to baiting. And tell us a little bit about that and that aspect of this hunt.
Yeah, I'll just echo what you said about the plane tickets. I've been there a few times, and these plane tickets were excellent. I think they were probably the cheapest flight I've had to South Africa. But, yeah, the hunt, it was, it's kind of exciting. I mean, anytime you're hunting dangerous game, it's exciting. And just being in that environment, we're traveling around, checking our baits. He's got baits set at 6 or 7 different sites, which is a lot of work on their part. What we were baiting with were warthogs, and they had shot like 16 or 17 warthogs as they kept changing out the bait at the different locations, trying to find the one where the leopard might come in.
Yeah, and you actually had the opportunity, which again is sometimes rare. You had an opportunity when we hit the ground to start shooting some warthogs right away to continue putting fresh bait out.
Yeah, I did. And, you know, Vossi Foster, that's the owner at Sediba, warthogs, they prey on a lot of the small antelope anyway, like the bush bucks and the impala, and they really create havoc with some of the young. So he likes to kill some of them off anyway. So he wasn't upset at all about using them for bait. So yeah, I was able to shoot 3 warthogs and some guinea fowls and a few other things, just that we were using for bait.
Yeah, and the advantage that came my way because of that is I got to shoot a couple also just because we needed some for bait. So that's always exciting when you get a chance to shoot an animal at no cost.
Well, it is, because usually you'll pay somewhere between $250 and $400 for a warthog. And so to be able to, shoot a few and do a good service for the outfitter at the same time is kind of a double win, absolutely.
Right. Well, one of the things that I really enjoyed, Drake, was we were going to all these different locations and checking the bait. And I don't know how it worked for you, but each time we were walking down a river bottom or walking to where the bait was or driving to where the bait was, there was a level of excitement because of the animal that we were hunting. There was a level of excitement for me that was really unusual. I mean, I found myself getting very excited every time we walked into a baiting place.
Well, you do get excited about it because it is dangerous game, and the opportunity to hunt a leopard, I mean, they don't come around very often. They only give out a limited number of tags, first of all. And so if you're fortunate enough to get one, you're very fortunate. And then at the same time, to be able to harvest a leopard is an added degree of fortuitousness. And when you're walking around looking at the different baits, you're checking tracks. You're out there in the bush, and you're checking tracks, and you see all kinds of different tracks. The hyena track looks quite a bit like the leopard track, and it's kind of exciting to know that you've got hyena in the area as well. So just that total experience is just kind of exciting and kind of a little bit of anxiety at the same time, because it is a dangerous game. And I've talked to quite a few people about my hunt before and after, and I've never talked to anybody yet that knows anybody that shot a leopard yet. And so that's kind of unique also.
Yeah, and actually, Drake, I'm in that same boat. I've talked to tons of people, and I do not personally know anybody other than you that has been able to harvest a leopard. So we're there. The baits start getting hit in some occasions at some of the places. Tell us the story of the actual hunt. Tell us what happened.
Well, there again, this whole hunt was a little bit unusual, a little bit unique, and the actual harvesting of the animal was a little bit unique. We were running around late in the afternoon checking baits, to see what baits had been hit, and we were checking several baits, and we got to this one bait, and we spooked up. I don't know if spooked up's the right word, but there was a leopard that had been on that bait. And we spooked it, and he ran off, and it was kind of getting late in the afternoon anyway, and so we said, well, crap, why don't we just set up right here, and maybe that leopard will come back, because they do that occasionally when they get kind of hungry. So we set up in a hide/blind at about, I can't remember what it was, 35, 40 yards. They try to set it up so you got a good shooting angle, and, and then they want a lot of cover around, and so you kind of have to work to get in the right spot. But so we set up, and they get out their infrared light, or if infrared's the right word, I'm not sure, but the light that they use, and getting ready for the evening part of the hunt. But fortunately, we didn't have to use the light system, because that leopard came back in, probably half hour, 45 minutes after we were set up. And, even at 35, 40 yards, most people can make that shot. And I was able to make that shot with that 308, and the leopard didn't move. I mean, they always say the leopard's kind of soft, and it is, but it's also one of the strongest animals in Africa. And I shot it with the 308, one shot, one kill, and it didn't move. So it was an exciting finish to the hunt, and a little bit unusual because of the way of that cat coming in late in the day. So it was special.
Yeah, and the neat thing about that is not only is a leopard hunt unique, not only do very few people ever get an opportunity to harvest one, but your hunt was really unique because you harvested it in daylight. You didn't have to sit there all night long and wait. It came right back in.
Well, yeah, that's true. I would have kind of liked the experience of sitting there for a while, but anyway, it didn't work that way. And, when you have the opportunity to take a leopard, you take the one that presents itself. And it wasn't a big leopard. It was a small to medium leopard. But, there again, almost nobody ever gets one. And when it comes in, you take that opportunity. So I did that, and the hunt ended successfully. And it was just a great experience. And, Vasi Foster over there is just a great host. Like I say, I've been to Africa hunting 8 times, and been to Sadiba. This is my 3rd time. But, to give you an idea of what he's like, he played competitive rugby till he was 49 years old, so that kind of gives you a little idea of what kind of a gruff old codger he is. But just a great host, and just goes out of his way to make things pleasant and enjoyable and fulfilling for the hunter.
So, Drake, for our listeners who are thinking about maybe taking on an African hunt, whether it's plains game, whether it's dangerous game, what do you have to say to them?
Well, the most important thing when you're planning a hunt, especially if you haven't been there before, is to get some good references. You want to know, because I've been there, like I said, 8 times, and I've had two bad experiences, and I didn't have good references when I went to those places. So you want to make sure you got good references. And I'm a good reference for Sadiba Enkwe, and so is Matt Geddes. But there's a lot of them out there. So the first thing you want to do is get some good references. And then the next thing is to deal with someone like Matt from Journey Hunts, and because he's been there a lot of times, he's got a good reputation. He knows how to put the trip together. He knows what your costs are going to be. He knows, what rifles are going to be available you should take, what kind of ammunition, what kind of clothing. I mean, he takes care of all those things for you that you're not familiar with. And so, yeah, get good references, go through a good local contact like Matt. And, after that, once you get there, they kind of babysit you. They make life real easy on you. They make it very pleasant. And just go enjoy yourself after that.
Yeah, I always have a hard time when I get back because of after being treated like that for 14 days, 10 days, whatever the safari is, I get back to reality and there's not somebody waiting on you the entire time of every day. So it gets tough on the back end, Yeah. Drake, one of the cool things that happened for me as a result of your hunt was, one of the baits kept getting hit by a hyena. And Ty, hyenas they're incredible. They're just ugly, heavy front end animals. And so I had an opportunity because Drake had already harvested his leopard. I had an opportunity to go in and hunt a brown hyena. Now, it's a non-export animal. The United States will not let you bring that animal in. Africa can ship it out, but the United States won't. And I knew that,
Right.
So it was still a great opportunity to hunt. And I got to go sit in a blind at night. And we went in at 4 p.m, set up the lights, set everything up. It's a really unique scenario. You have a red light that's on very dim above the bait, the warthog hanging in the tree, and then you have a line run all the way back to you with also a motion sensor. And you have a white light in your blind all covered with electric tape except a pinhole. So when there's motion, you see that light at your feet and there's something there. And then you have the dimmer switch on the red light. You bring it all the way up. So we're sitting in this blind and we're there for about, just a couple minutes. A couple hours. And all of a sudden it's dark. And at 7:15, it got dark at 7. We hear about 100 yards from us, this animal starts screaming. I mean, wah, 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 it's screaming. And you could hear bones crunching. Now get this, I'm in the dark in Africa with a bow in my hands.
Oh, boy.
And I hear an animal screaming and bones crunching. That's how close this was. You're in the dark.
Yeah.
You got leopards, lions, hyenas, cheetahs, you name it. You got black mambas. It's bad enough to be in the dark, and now I hear something killing something. Yeah, it did. So all of a sudden, this animal starts running at us, and all I could hear is the whole way in, and it stops literally less than 10 yards next to my blind. And needless to say, I was very awake, very alert, and I'm sitting there, and you can't say anything. Dries is sitting right next to me as my PH, the co-owner of Sadiba, and this animal takes 40 minutes and works all the way around us till it's right next to him, literally feet from him, so close that we could hear it breathing, and I hear Dries click off the safety of the 470 double. Ooh. And when a PH gets a little nervous, it's time for you to be nervous. So long story short, that night, I missed that. I drew back my bow. I couldn't see my sights, picked up the 470, and I actually, at 27 yards, missed a hyena with one of the largest guns in the world. We came back the next night, and we were all set up for the bow, but because it had a bullet fly by it the night before,
it was done.
Oh, it would come in and it would bite the bait and run, bite the bait and run, bite the bait and run. And so I took the gun again that night, made a shot on that hyena with a 308, the same 308 actually that Drake used on his leopard, and dropped that hyena. So Drake, thank you for the hyena opportunity, and thank you for being a good friend and a great client, Drake. I really appreciate it.
Well, it's an exciting opportunity to go to Africa anytime, but especially on a leopard hunt. And that hyena, the hyena is a vicious predator. I tell you, lions stay away from hyenas. They got some of the strongest jaws in Africa. And so it's a unique, special opportunity to take a hyena also.
Oh, no doubt about it. One of my favorite hunts in the world. So, Ty Morgan, Matt Gaddis with the Outdoor Journey. Thank you, Drake Lem, for being on the show. And folks, we'll be right back at you next week.
This is the Outdoor Journey Show, where life takes you outdoors.